All right, so we just got finished watching Freaky with Vince Vaughn, and what was the name of the actress who's
Uh,
Catherine or not Catherine? I can't remember the fucking name. Um,
you're right. Catherine Newton.
oh, I was right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Catherine Newton and Vince Vaughn. So, thoughts?
Thought it was awful.
Yeah. It just to me it clearly was not. I had hopes that it was going to be more than what it turned out to be.
Same
It
here.
it clearly was not meant um for an older audience. It was clearly meant for a young audience and a young female audience at that. Um,
Yeah.
and the thing that got me with it is just how just blatantly cliche it was. Like
Yeah.
the way the characters were written, the even the dynamics is like you have this cute teenage blonde, right? Apparently
Yeah.
she's picked on at school, um, and she only has two friends. One of those friends happens to be a gay male. The other one happens to be a black female. So it seems that they had an agenda with this movie, a social agenda, and then they had scenes of men kissing each other, and they just
Yeah.
they
They went over the top.
and I don't understand why, like, the Blumhouse is the production that's behind this. And my problem with Blumhouse is that they just don't give a fuck, yo. Like they just don't care. Like Jason Blum, he's blatantly just lazy, dude. Like he just doesn't care. He just wants to make these fucking quick $5 movies to make a quick buck. And I don't understand. Like, could you put a little bit of effort into the shit?
Yeah. Like
It,
I'm not understanding why it's so successful. I'm like, it's ridiculous.
I mean, I think part of it is because with COVID-19, everyone's stuck in the house and they just want to watch a fun, silly ass thriller film, which is what this is. But
Mm,
it's just so, like you said before, it's just so cheesy and cliche and over the top that it's just you can't even enjoy it on a basic level because of,
yeah.
uh, of how of how cheap it is. It's
Yeah.
it's so fucking cheap. Like why? Um,
And I understand they're trying to be comedic and goofy, but man, some of those jokes, it's like, it's just, oh man, like, like they were, what was that one scene? Or yeah, right at the ending, where it feels like they just threw that scene in there for that cheap balls joke. Or like, when they had to switch between Vince Vaughn and the actress. She's and they're peeing or whatever. Her friend attacks her balls. I'm like, man, that's like
oh,
these jokes.
you're talking about the stall scene.
Yeah,
Yeah, that wasn't funny at all, man. And,
it was it.
then they had Vince Vaughn in here, and that one scene in particular, the one you're talking about, they had that one scene where he's just shaking his body or whatever, and oh, let's throw some penis jokes in the movie, and
Yeah,
it's like, come on, man, just
it,
why? Why?
it was just awful.
I can't imagine any grown person sitting down with their child, no less, watching this and enjoying it. I can't see that. I can't see it. it's not intended for an older audience. It's not intended for anyone over the age of fucking 16.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cheap. Why does it have to be so cheap? Like the Insidious movies. No, those were Blumhouse production, films too. Um, but those had they at least had a good concept. They had likable characters. They had a story that was interesting. They gave you a unique world to live and breathe in throughout those movies. And
Mm-hmm.
to some degree they were scary. This is like, I understand part of it. A lot of it is supposed to be like a comedy, but the jokes are just so cheap and just cliche, by the numbers, and it's not funny at all.
Yeah.
um I don't even, I can't even say I liked any of the characters in the movie, actually.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too. None of the characters are likable at all. It is just painful to sit through.
The only character that was bearable was the serial killer himself,
It's true.
because he had charisma, even when they did the switch, the body switch.
Hmm.
um I thought that was like that's the only character that made the movie interesting. Everyone else was fucking unbearable.
They
and,
were.
and then they had the cliche high school crush, and that just got silly to me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, the whole idea of this poem or whatever, that she left a poem in his locker, and that's how he figures out, oh, that it's this girl that he knows from class, but now she's stuck in this grown man's body. It's like, I don't think that would play out like that in real life.
Yeah.
I don't think it would really work like that. Um, so what were some of the scenes specifically that just like didn't work for you? I'm curious.
Do you remember that one scene where it was the very first scene where the switch took place and he ends up in that warehouse. But she finds out that she's him now, and that homeless guy pops up. And, like I don't know, he's trying to argue to the homeless guy, saying she's a woman or whatever, asking and starts asking him for drugs, and then she takes off. And then at the end, the homeless guy says like, "I'll suck your dick" and all that. I'm like, stuff like that. It was just. Do you remember the scene? That scene?
Yeah, yeah, I know the scene you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, man, like these jokes, they're just awful. What's another one that I can think of right now? Uh,
I mean,
hmm,
the jokes, like the one joke in that scene that you're talking about, that's some
hmm,
shit that like a fucking drunk 40-year-old would come up with. But it's like it's humor, it's like teenage humor or college humor.
yeah,
It's not even like smart humor or clever humor.
yeah,
It's stupidity just for the sake of stupidity. It's not clever. Um there's nothing unique about the dialogue or the concept of the jokes themselves. A lot of them just fall flat immediately.
yeah, yeah. And the dialogue is just awful a lot of times. Like the teacher, that one teacher who's always just
Oh my
harping on the girl.
Oh
I'm
my
like, man,
God. Yeah, that was just like that character. I hated that fucking character. That was one of the worst characters in the entire movie. Is
it was.
because you can't, and I said it when we were watching it. I was like, there's no way a grown ass man, an instructor is going to treat a teenager like that, especially a female,
Yeah.
especially in the modern day. You know,
Hmm.
that could go south quick. You know,
Hmm.
um, it's not realistic. It's not believable.
Yeah, and I understand they try to over exaggerate things a little bit to try and make it funny, but it just doesn't work, and it just comes off as just plain stupid. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's just they didn't try. Simply, it's not. There was no effort here, and I compare this movie to like the Eurovision movie that I was telling you about. I
Mm,
compare it to that, and there's just it's a night and day comparison. The
mm,
jokes just work in Eurovision, whereas here it's like there's no fucking effort at all.
mm,
The writing is just it's silly, but it's not like I said, it's not clever silly. It's just stupid silly.
mm,
Um, it's not funny whatsoever. It's just bland. It's boring. It's dumb.
mm,
First and foremost, it's just not smart. It's not clever. Smart writing. The another character that was try hard was the sister, the older sister.
yeah.
Um, that character didn't work for me either. I don't even understand what the point of that character was. It's like whenever she was on screen, she was literally just a convenience to the plot, and it felt like they could have easily cut that character from the movie, and nothing would have really changed. How'd you feel about like some of the other characters that were in there?
And each and every one of them were awful. The gay one, at one bottom of my list. The little her crush, that character was awful too, and it just seeing where he's making out with her while she's still in that body. I'm like, that scene. Oh man, that scene was just. I'm like,
Who would laugh at something like that? Like
yeah,
how bad is how low does your taste have to be to find something like that funny? To find
yeah,
a young kid, a young teenage boy making out with a grown man, laughable. How bad does your taste have to be to enjoy something like that? I don't
yes,
find that shit funny at all. I find it very disturbing, if anything.
yeah. Especially since he's an older man too. It's like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like it's not even remotely in the realm of it being just something that you would find just appropriate. It's not it's just inappropriate, and it's not a good joke to
mm,
have in the movie. It's just why? Once
yeah.
again, um, I'm actually curious as to who wrote this.
It was the director himself and another guy. I can Google it for you. Because I just saw it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look that up for me, cause
Yeah. So
um,
yeah, it was the director himself, Christopher Landon, and some guy named Michael Kennedy. Let's see.
which one
I've
did
never
which one did what specifically?
uh doesn't list who, but I'm looking at his Michael Kennedy guy, and he doesn't really have much going on from him. They had two credits for American Dad. Um,
Uh,
oh, never mind. Excuse me. Actually, a big writer on American Dad and Family Guy. So
yeah. Then
see,
that
he's
now we know the type of humor.
yes,
Yeah.
it explains it all. And I also hated how they threw in that in cheesy teenage trauma shit. I'm like, oh, and other scene with their mom, talking about her father passing when in the
That
dressing
shit
room.
was cheesy as a motherfucker, yo. I was ready for it to be done, dude. And it's just the movie is an hour and 40 minutes, and it feels like twice as long as that.
Yeah.
I was baffled when like I was about to pause the movie because I was about to go take a bathroom break, and it said we were an hour in, and then it said we had another 40
Mhm.
minutes left. I was like, there's another fucking 40 minutes left in this shit. What? I was like, no, we have to sit through this shit for another fucking 40 minutes. I was just so ready for it to be done, dude. It's just so stupid, dude. I'm tired of movies like this, dude. They don't even put fucking like they don't even put fucking effort into the shit, dude. At
Mhm.
least try, you know.
Yeah.
At least try, try to respect my intelligence as a viewer.
Mm.
Motherfucker, this fucking Jason Blum dude. I don't know what his problem is, dude. Like, you a cheap ass bastard, dude. He's making these these $5 ass movies, dude. I
Mm-hmm.
just and then you said that this shit had a fucking 80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Fucking
Both,
how?
both critics and users. Crazy.
Fucking how, dude? This shit was torture, man. Oh my god.
And the idea is it would just copy and paste too from other movies.
Yeah, none of it was like original, because the
Yeah.
concept of it is, um, it's supposed to be like this slasher version, this slasher slash comedy version of Freaky Friday, which was already a
Mm-hmm.
comedy within of itself. They just
Mm-hmm.
added the slasher element to it. It's like, they did the same thing for Happy Death Day. It's like Happy Death Day was supposed to be like the slasher version of Groundhog Day, except they took the slasher version of it, and then turned it into a comedy. And I thought it, for the most part, it worked there, but now it seems that's what Jason Blum's trying to do. He's taking popular movies, be it like older classic family films or regardless of the genre, and now he's trying to make his own horror version of it so it fits his production company, and
Mm-hmm.
it's working. Motherfuckers are buying into the shit, dude.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man, it's just if COVID-19 wasn't a thing, right? And
Mm-hmm.
movie theaters were still open en masse and everyone was still going to the movies, this would make a killing at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. And this isn't like if I had to pay to go see something like this, I'd be pissed the fuck off, dude.
Would.
I just it's some of the characters in this movie, dude. The fucking gay friend, dude. Like, why? Why? That was that character's whole stick. It's like, oh, I'm gay and I gotta talk like this and I gotta switch. I gotta switch around my mannerisms and I gotta walk this way and talk like this and I'm just
And remember that awful joke when they first introduced his character with that black guy with the dog?
oh
Like
boy.
they really introduced him like that too.
That shit was, if you think about it, it's insulting for anyone who's of color watching the movie. It's like, why do you
Yeah.
got to throw in a black joke? Why is that necessary? Oh, Mr. What's his face? I wanna do this to your black wiener. Eh, It's like, really, motherfucker? You realize that black people watch your fucking movies? You
Yeah.
fucking idiot. Do you not understand that people of color watch Blumhouse production films? It's
Mhm.
like, why would you put that joke in the movie in this day and age, especially with the fucking, they could have easily edited, that shit out before they released
Mhm.
it. Easily, they could have cut the scene or, edited the dialogue through ADR or whatever, whatever the case. And we this year we have the whole fucking George Floyd situation and the protest and the racial injustice protest and all that and Black Lives Matter, and you gonna throw some stupid ass joke in here like that, dude?
Mhm.
Why? What's the for what?
Mhm.
It's fucking stupid, man. It
Yeah.
really is. It really
Yeah.
is. Um,
Like you were saying earlier, I really want to know why Vince Vaughn would do this.
I was curious, like of that, because I asked you about that before we started recording. Um,
Mhm.
what possessed Vince Vaughn, an actor who has a background who doesn't even need to do something like this? Like, what possessed him to say yes to this project?
Mhm.
I'm curious to know your thoughts about that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because I'm like, Like out of all the stuff you've done, you choose to do a movie like this where you play a teenage, act as a teenage girl. I'm like, looks embarrassing for him. Like, I mean, yeah, he's played in bad movies and stuff, but playing as a teenage girl, like, come on.
It's a role that's below him. It's beneath him.
It sure is.
I'm not even saying Vince Vaughn is like a grade A, high caliber actor because he's not. But he
Yeah.
has the career and the charisma to do something that's better than this. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, it really doesn't make any sense. It makes me think that he did this as a favor either to another director or he did this like he has like a niece or a cousin or
Mm-hmm.
he did it like for someone he knows personally. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because
You
that
know, usually, like the past few roles I've seen, he's usually been in some serious roles. Like there was in that Brawl movie. He was in that season of True Detective.
yeah
He's
yeah yeah
done
yeah
a few other community roles, but he was nothing as embarrassing as this.
yeah. I mean, True Detective that was the one I was thinking about too. The thing about True Detective is that yeah, that wasn't the best season of that show. It was actually the weakest season of it
Yeah.
so far, and Vince Vaughn was one of the worst parts about that season. But
Mm-hmm.
at least, at least he tried to do something a bit more serious, you know, something that would actually improve his repertoire of roles that he's had in his career. And you go from that back to this bullshit right here. And I just, once again, I don't understand. And it's like, who is giving these fucking reviews? Is
Yeah.
it critics? Is it like I'm very curious about that. Who's giving this movie good scores? Is that something you can look up?
I've been looking myself, and I just don't understand it. The scoring system on Rotten Tomatoes is just so odd to me. I don't understand it either.
Well, I mean, either a movie is good or it's not good on Rotten Tomatoes. There's like no in between because it's an aggregate site. It's not like a review site. All it does is aggregate all um, the different scores that any particular movie gets. So it's not a really good metric to say whether something is good or not.
Mm-hmm.
As we discovered the hard way through other movies similar to this. Um, yeah, man, it's just to me this was a waste of time, dude.
It
It's so
was.
fucking long. Why? Dude, 20 minutes in this movie feels like 40.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that is. It's just it just jumps from scene to scene to scene to scene, and none of it feels like not all of it feels like it's absolutely necessary. Like they could have cut out a good 30 minutes or more of this
Mm-hmm.
and nothing really would have changed. Like the fucking teacher. The scenes with the teacher. None of that really needed to be in the movie. Um,
And the introduction to the killer himself was pointless too.
what scene was it?
Well, actually, never mind. We did steal that. Actually, I forgot about that. My bad.
He stole what?
You remember the little knife or
Oh, the
whatever.
the dagger, the dagger.
Yeah, the dagger.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This shit was just it was just trying my patience, dude. It was just trying my patience for an hour and 40 minutes. I was just like, man, I want this shit to be done. I was really hoping that this was going to be better than what it turned out to be. Cause
Yeah, I thought it was going to be actually pretty good and funny.
yeah, the I would say within the first 25 minutes, that's when I was like, okay, I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, because
Um,
at first I was like, those first 20 minutes and stuff, like, man, this is awful. And when they started doing the change or switching bodies, they're like, okay, maybe this movie's about to really start turning into a new light, and I was completely wrong.
yeah, that it was going to turn a new leaf and actually be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit didn't happen at all. Even when she gets when the switch happens and she becomes Vince Vaughn, it's like the jokes, like the reaction of the character being in this body of this killer, none of that seemed realistic at all.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they were trying to force jokes into the movie at that point that didn't belong, and a lot of it was sexual humor. Oh look, I got a penis now, and I got balls in this. It's like, oh my god, dude, just fucking stop. It, it was it was fucking torture, dude, sitting through this.
Was.
Yeah, we should have watched Borat too.
Yeah, that would have actually been a funny movie.
Yeah, that's what we were planning on doing, but we decided to watch this monstrosity instead.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, fuck this movie, man. This shit was
Which is
trash.
which is
We're definitely watching Borat 2 next time.
yeah.
Yeah, because I need something that's actually funny, and then
Hmm.
and then we actually watch Borat 2, and that turns out to be bullshit too.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope that's not the case. um, so yeah, Freaky. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, this movie's trash.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. This movie was just fucking garbage. Um, I'm not a teenage girl. This clearly was not for me. I don't have the sensibilities or the mindset that a teenage girl would have. So I unfortunately did not find this funny. I didn't like any of the fucking characters. The pacing was off. It was too long, and yeah, it just sucked.
Yep.
There's nothing else to say. It was just a bad movie, dude. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, my black naked ass, yo.
uh,
Yeah. Oh well. There's always the next one, as they say.
mhm.
So. All right. So that's freaky. Next movie we will definitely be watching Borat 2.
Yep.
Um. Yeah. I partly blame you for this because you press you.
I did press it on you.
Yeah, you did. You
The
fucking
second one.
you
This is the
fucking
second one.
you fucking pressed this one. I was like, okay, we were gonna watch a different one. That shit wasn't working, so um, tried to give this one. I was like, okay, let's give this a shot. He wants to watch this one. Fuck it. Yeah.
My bad. I'm not gonna be picking the movies.
It's all good. I've seen worse. This could have been a Michael Bay movie. So uh, yeah, that's freaky. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, don't check it out,
Yeah, don't. Or do at your own discretion.
guys.